Welcome back, brothers. As you can see in the background, we're doing something a little bit different today. I was asked on my live stream last Friday to possibly go into idle skilling, and unfortunately, because the stream was going at about 1 frame every 6 minutes, just wasn't able to get into the video. So I did want to come into it today and discuss the different aspects of idle skilling and whether or not the game is worth it to play for you. So there's going to be quite a bit to go into, so let's get into it. So as we come into the video today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down into different sections, and I'm going to go over, some of the pros and some of the cons. And hopefully that will help you determine whether or not this game is right for you. So as we come into it, the first section that you're going to see in your UI is your training section. A con of this is that there are some portions where the game explains to you exactly what you are doing and how you're supposed to go about doing it, but then I believe they take the training wheels off very rapidly. So as we can see, I do have one character just absolutely repping out those bench presses, and then as you go a little bit further down the line, there's obviously exponential increases on how much things cost, where this goes from 41 million down to just 1.5 million. And even leveling that up, the increase is just so large compared to the money that you get coming into it. So in the training section, it's broken down into 4 different sections, which is unlocked in the perk tree, where you can come in and you unlock the different areas to train. So whether that's the endurance fields, the strength mountain, or I believe that's the attack dojo. So broken down into different sections where you can then have more characters which increase that specific attribute, right? Whether that is going to be your attack, which in this game is your hit chance, your strength, which in turn is your damage, or your health, which is your endurance, which is then your health. So if I had to give this a rating, I would give it a 3 out of 5. Again, just my opinion. Visually, it's quite appealing. I like logging on to be able to look at this. I enjoy seeing, how there's, 20 different animations that are going on as far as what the characters are doing. So in that vein, it is actually pretty enjoyable. Just the only difference is how fast the gains are as opposed to what you're actually getting out of it. So I feel like the gains don't equate to getting enough to be able to progress past a certain point, if that makes sense. Alright, we're going to go into part 2, which is crafting. So to give you a frame of reference for how long I have been playing this game, I started playing right before the stream on Friday, and today is Tuesday the 20th. So I've been playing for about, we'll call it 5 days. So what I like about the crafting, we'll start off with mining here, is that there is a max level as far as the speed for your miners. So I do like there being a finite goal, something that you can actually reach, there being an ending, and that ability to see your actions actually produce fruit. Into things I don't like, there is caps, obviously, so I'm at level 44 right now. To go into the next material right here requires level 45. Now, I'm not sure if that was intentional, but the difference in speed between mining, which I've leveled up a lot more than I've leveled up my fishing, there's still a 20 level differential between the two of those. And every single one of my characters, I want to say, is at max level as far as speed, and as much as I can humanly put into it as far as their production, their value. And even with all of that said, the gap between these two and the ability to unlock new material, sorely lacking. I haven't used any gems. I did buy the unlimited forge uses just because I couldn't be asked to wait whatever the time limit was beforehand to be able to craft. So I would say the only thing in the game that I saw that was actually worth buying would be the unlimited 4 juices. I think it was $10, and I got $10 to throw at a game just to see if it's going to make it better. So in that vein, I'll give the unlimited 4 juices 5 out of 5. I'd have to give mining a 2 out of 5. I mean, it feels great watching these guys just absolutely go off, beating the crap out of some rocks. That feels great. And fishing, 5 out of 5. It scales extremely well. Haven't played for 5 days. We're down to just over a half a second as far as how long it takes to fish. Pretty even spread amongst the fish. You know, sub 50. This is, you know, getting up there, as well as the whatever that is, the rare fish. Again, as far as tutorial, sorely lacking. Sorely lacking. So a lot of it is not so much trial and error, because I don't feel like you can actually fail this game. But you may not get the progress that you actually want because you don't know what the hell you're doing. Alright, part 3 is going to be the perk tree. And I feel like this is laid out pretty well. I did just unlock the, whatever you would call this, the 5th slot. I don't think these actually have names. I haven't seen them. I just call this one sword, strength, endurance, whatever, summoning. And this would be the Crusader tree. Not much to say as far as the perk tree. I mean, it's looks good, it feels good. Leveled up a lot of the in-state perks up as much as I possibly could. Going for resource collection at the moment. It does feel good, and you do see, you know, your returns almost immediately. But at the same time, there's no, I don't know the good way to put it. There's no sense of progression. Sure, when you come over to the fight, you can see that you've gone from the grasslands to the desert to the mountains. So, you know, World 3. But there's no sense of reward, at least in my eyes, the way I feel. Like, it doesn't feel good to progress from the grasslands to the desert to World 3. It just feels like, okay, well, you know, in another 235 kills, I will eventually get there and be able to unlock something. And I'm sure a lot of you are doing what I am doing, where this is all for IDLEON, right? You're doing this to unlock items in IDLEON, and we'll cover this in just a second. But I feel like the game's goal is to unlock something for IDLEON, not necessarily to progress in idle skilling, if that makes sense. So as far as the perk tree is concerned, I don't have any issues with it. Just not necessarily a fan of the game as a whole. And I'm not trying to nitpick the different aspects, because there's a lot going on, and sometimes when there's a lot going on, there's too much going on. As far as the perk tree, though, I'd give it a solid 4 out of 5. I think it's pretty flushed out. It's pretty flushed out. I could tell he put a lot of work into it. It's just not for me at the moment. All right, part 4 is going to bring us into fighting. Probably the more appealing aspect of the game, being able to see the large numbers and be able to kill mobs. And all of these attacks, you start off with the claw attack, you progress, go into the endurance tree, that unlocks the poison. Then you can go into a different tree, unlock meteor, flurry, and then smite. And then there is an option down here in the bottom right. There's an auto button. You can unlock that in raids, which we will talk about here in just a second. There's different options that you can go into raids, unlock that ability, and then be able to use it in-game when you're either active or when you're away from the keyboard and you have this game closed out. As far as fighting, there's not a whole lot to talk about. The UI is pretty intuitive. These are foods right here underneath the health bar that you can unlock that heal you passively, as well as your different buff sections, and you can use the auto to be able to proc those while you are gone. So as far as the fighting section, I would say it's a solid 4 out of 5. I'm not going to give it a 5 out of 5, simply because the auto advance on, I don't believe that works when you have the game closed. So, you have to kind of be on top of this, and you have to constantly check the game. Whereas with IDLEON, you can just you close the game, they're going to keep doing exactly what you want them to do, and you can come check on them whenever you want to. No problems. This, you got to kind of micromanage it a little bit more, and that's just not my thing, especially when I work a full-time job, so I don't really have time. Plus, I'm trying to make videos for you guys. Plus, I've got college coming up. So there's a whole lot of things that are asking for my time, and the game shouldn't be one of those, right? Especially if you want a fully idle game. A lot better than others, but I'd like there to be the progression that you don't actually have to play the game can play itself. You just come back, you reap the rewards. But overall, it's a pretty enjoyable combat system. So again, solid 4 out of 5. And then just a little tip for you guys, a little secret for having watched the video. So I'm gonna come in here. There's a little vault thing that you can do every, I want to say it's what, like 60 minutes or something. I can't remember off the top of my head. Essentially, what we're going to do, and you're going to need quite a bit of damage in order to pull off this secret. But I'm going to let the time run out here. I'm not going to try and kill these guys anymore. I don't need the money. I can get enough from that. And once this ends, there's going to be an NPC that pops up with the name Death, okay? And if you can kill Death fast enough, as you can see, I've killed Death a couple times. Once you kill Death, his son, I assume this is his son, I have no idea, will ask you to give different fish to him in different amounts. And the last one he's going to ask for is 5 sharks. If you can give the kid everything that he wants, essentially, he will say, you did what you could to console the orphan child, and while he remains upset, you are blessed nonetheless. And that rewards you with defeating monsters will give 30% more kills. So, was lucky enough to stumble upon that. Unfortunately, I killed his dad, but he's not too upset about it. Not too upset about it. He gave us a little bit of a buff. So, there's a little bit of a secret for you guys. If you get through there, kill Death, get this kid the fish he wants, ends up with 5 sharks is the last thing he asks for, so you have to be able to progress to the point where you can get sharks, give him the 5 sharks, and he'll give you this buff. So, hopefully that helps you guys. Alright, so part 6 is going to be the raid system. Now, you are giving tickets at a certain interval. You can accumulate the tickets and then be able to fight different bosses. So, right now, the highest I'm up to is whatever this headless entertainer is. I'm going to go in there, absolutely lay the smack down on this guy. And once that's done, you can go into a gift shop. So, just going to pop my buffs. And before I can hit all of them, he's pretty much already dead. So, having done that, I'm going to go to the lobby, go to the gift shop. We've unlocked tokens to be able to spend at different portions of the game. And these are, and from my understanding, because I haven't done what they call ascending yet, so I haven't ascended yet, but from my understanding, you can buy these different perks, which are permanent. And the next time I start the game, I start over, I ascend, it's going to give me 6 attack, 6 strength, 6 endurance. I can do the same thing over here. I can start off with mining level 2, smithing level 2, fishing level 2. So it's a way to get back into the game faster, as well as different perks, which is XP required to level up, summoning reduced by, X%. So the ability to get in faster with a higher level and then be able to continuously level up even faster. And then here, I'm just going to get these guys all up to 16 because I have to, otherwise it's going to annoy me. The 4th tab is going to just give you more experience in the 3 different skills, your attack, your strength, and your endurance. And the last one gives you the opportunity to be able to buy an auto attack button, which will automatically use your skills at an X interval. I can't tell you what level I'm at because it doesn't actually show, but the level I'm at right now is every 8.5 seconds it will automatically cast one of my skills for me, and that is dependent on what level you've unlocked these two. So I've gotten this to level 4 and level 3 respectively, so every 8.5 seconds it's going to use one of these attack skills or one of these 3 different buffs. And what I've noticed is it will trigger, specifically the Hand of Midas, it will trigger, but it will not automatically click for you. So that is kind of a wasted buff point because it will trigger that, go into the 8.5 second cooldown, but you won't get any of the money from using the Hand of Midas. So as far as raids are concerned, I dig it. I dig it. This is probably the 5 out of 5. I do enjoy the roguelite. Progress as much as you possibly can, and then you get perks to be able to make the next playthrough, even better. So as far as that is concerned, I dig it. I'm always, any game I've ever played, you got a raid, I dig it. So, yep, solid 5 out of 5 for the raids. Alright, part 7 is going to be, I'm going to call it something like miscellaneous skills ? Essentially, you've got, I believe this is called summoning. It's like your other skills, like your training skills. You can buy more cultists, more acolytes. On the left-hand side, and again, this is where the game tries to explain to you what's going on. I've yet to wrap my head around it. I don't know. I'm just producing different colored orbs, and for some reason, that's good. On the left side, they try to produce orbs, and whatever you'll see he's going at right now, so he's trying to go for these whatever little green dudes. I believe this is my ability to actually complete that. So if I go over here, he has a 100% chance to make a red orb, a 12% chance to make the orange one, 0.8, and then it goes down to 0.05. I wish this portion got a little bit more love as far as explanations. I understand the premise of it. It's just, it doesn't feel good to make orbs. I don't know how you make this more engaging or more fun. I personally don't enjoy it. The next screen over, you can buy different rifts. The rifts have a passive bonus. The first one, Gold Coin Rift, it gives you cash based on fighting. The second one, Water Rift, boost all offline into a H2O earned, so it's giving me a 63% boost. Power Rift, which boosts my current damage, which is a 70% increase at the moment. And the Health Rift boosts my max HP, current percentage is 48%. The last one, and this one I kind of enjoy. This one's actually pretty good. I just unlocked a lot of stuff, Jesus. It's a kind of like task system inside the game, and that is something I 100% enjoy, boys. I'll tell you that for free. Being able to go after different things, complete them, and then get rewards based off of that, it's fantastic. I've apparently failed everything in the insane category. Have a total card of level 60. Awesome. Reach Grassland Disciple without crafting. So the one negative, and this is why I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 here, is these don't tell you, right? Because you haven't even unlocked it. You haven't even unlocked the extreme, the hard, the insane. You're starting off at easy. And it's possible to be locked out of certain things because you didn't know it, right? If it's the first playthrough, you're trying to progress as much as humanly possible. You didn't know that you had to reach the Grasslands Disciple without crafting. You had no idea, right? You had zero idea. But you could still fail mining 10k ore without killing a monster. You could still fail any one of these, and you didn't know. And, at some point that could be discouraging because I've locked myself out of 3 out of the 4. Because you can't just click on these as hard as possible. It's going to give you a different task. You failed these 3. Now the only one you can possibly do is the card collector. So for that, I got to give it a 1 out of 5. I do like the ability to buy permanent bonuses. So it's just like the raids. I do dig that. That's definitely something I like. Starting skill starts at level 1. I love that. Haven't even looked at that because we just unlocked that. But as far as it is concerned, for the miscellaneous skills, which also include crusades, it feels like a time sink because, I want to go fight. I want to go craft. I want to mine. I want to fish. I want to do the main training skills. And at this point, now you're having to micromanage crusaders. You're having to try and progress through all of these. You're crafting new sets of, armor. You're having to create boosters and mutators. It's a lot for a new player to want to come in, especially if they already have the idea in their head that they're only playing in order to unlock the crossover event items. So I got to give all the miscellaneous skills, I got to give that a 1 out of 5. Just because I want to play a game. I don't want to waste time going into 1,000 different skills that I then have to micromanage and make sure it's actually, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So 1 out of 5 on the miscellaneous skills. But yeah, we're going to move on. Alright, part 8 is going to be the IDLEON crossover event. And I will give this a 5 out of 5 solely for the fact that Lava did not impose a time limit on this. He said it takes as long as it takes you to do. That's as long as it takes you to do. So I've only unlocked the first 2, which is I believe this was 300 gems, and then the card pack. And the reason I'm giving a 5 out of 5, like I had said, is because Lava did not impose a time limit. But I also think I got partially lucky. Your mileage might vary. From the 2 card packs, I did get a 3-star Blighted Chiswar, which I could buy a 4 cardifier. That'd give me an 8% stat increase, which is huge. And I hadn't been able to do any squishy souls whatsoever. And I was able to get a 3-star out of that as well, which I could boost that up again. And I believe that's going to give me a 25% charge rate. So as far as getting my worship up, huge. Obviously, mileage is going to vary. You might get something great like I did, or you might just get absolute crap, and obviously that's not going to be a great reward for you. The next event, which I'm going for right now, is a hat. This looks like it's going to be 1 stack of grand opals and then 1 stack of regular opals, which, we've all played IDLEON. That could be 6 gold opals or a couple silvers, so that's not going to be a huge reward, not really what I'm looking for. This is going to be a cosmic candy, which I believe can go up to 500 hours, but it averages around like 10 hours or something, as well as whatever the black orb is. I know you can't use it past 30, which if you've been playing IDLEON for a minute, I've been playing now IDLEON for about 4 months, and I don't think any of my characters for the most part have any skills below 30, so it's kind of just bank filler at this point. Then we have some gems, a dice, which I would have to imagine Lava's going to give us more than 1 dice for making it all the way down here. It would be kind of funny to get all the way there and he gives you 1 dice and it turns out to be, like you roll a 22 and you get nothing. And then it looks like a humongous stack of gems here, because the gem icon is much larger than the 300. That might be 3,000, 4,000 gems. This is going to be some balls for the arcade, which, I'm actually looking forward to, because there's a lot of stuff in the arcade I want, like the Bodhi. I want the 3 different stamps you have to get from the damn arcade event that I still haven't gotten. And last but not least, it's the trophy. And I believe Gandalf told me that this is a 15% skill efficiency trophy, which on a Maestro, huge. Absolutely huge. You double that with a chip, 30%. So, unfortunately, I've got to play all the way through here until I can get that trophy, because I really, really, really want it. But all in all, crossover event, pretty solid. Give it a 5 out of 5. Brings me to the last point I want to talk about. Do comment down below if there was a part that you wanted to know about that I did not cover, but this is the Ascension tree. Now, only reason I have not ascended is I do want to do a little bit more research on it. But there's not a lot of stuff. I haven't seen anything on Reddit or on YouTube saying that it is more beneficial to ascend as opposed to continuing to fight, because I'm 41 away from the Keymaster here, and I'd rather not ascend and then have to fight my way all the way back through all of that, because if you look, what's going to reset, you're going to lose all of your fighting skills, all of your skill levels, and your training skills, all your skill levels and your main crafting skills, all of it in the miscellaneous, all of your money, all your souls, and all your smithing items. You keep 100% of your ores and fish, and you keep 20% of your souls. So I don't know enough at this point to know if that's a good enough trade. Let me get out of here and then I'll go back in. So if I ascend now, I'm going to get 311 AP. And you can spend this AP on different perks, different bonuses, such as you'll need a higher total upgrade level to cross the 2D skillers and training to fully unlock all the perks. I can buy this, and it will unlock this, these different sets of perks for me to purchase. But you can buy monster kills are worth more kills. You can get more H2O from the main training skills, more cash for defeating people. Monsters give more cash. So all in all, the Ascension, that's great, especially if this is a long-term game for you and this is something that you want to continue to play. For someone like me who's only doing it for the IDLEON rewards, and I really don't have any desire, I haven't been wowed by the game enough to want to continue to play it for years to come. It's just not IDLEON to me. I 100% love IDLEON. I look forward to playing IDLEON. When I get off of work and I get to make a video about IDLEON, I'm stoked. When it comes to Idleskilling, I just want to get through this so I can get the rewards for the main game, and then I probably won't touch it ever again. But if this game is for you, Ascension, I can see this becoming huge down the road for you. Obviously, I only haven't played for 4, maybe 5 days. I'm nowhere near where I need to be to actually make this worthwhile. But yeah, if you do make it worthwhile and this is something that you want to continue to play, hats off to you. Hopefully you do enjoy it. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for us today. I wish you the best of luck in game. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, as always, feel free to drop those down below. If you want to give me some tips or tricks about Idleskilling, that's also very much so appreciated. As I checked before I got on the video, I believe we're at 397 subscribers, which you guys are just absolutely insane. I do appreciate that, and I love talking to you guys down in the comments. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys on the other side of 500. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. Hopefully you do enjoy Idleskilling, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.